And hello. How y'all doing?
Hey, excellent. How you doing today?
Good. Riding
Doing
the
good
wave.
too. See, I got it on this side, but we're gonna roll with it.
Hmm.
Welcome to Moist Mondays with all of us here. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get my camera together.
Like, where we at? Where we at? I don't see none of
Where's we? Well, let me just go on and advance this slide real quick. And we're talking tonight. This is the Sex Magic series. Of course, y'all know we started last week talking about sex magic, all the things that it's gonna take a newbie to get started in the realm of sex magic. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce everyone to this particular situation. We got somebody that's waiting. That's very nice. Very nice. Let me go ahead and introduce everyone here. We started, of course, y'all know who I am. And I'm gonna be over here with this camera off for a couple of seconds. But
them.
I want to go ahead and introduce my partner, Jean. Jean, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Gene Williams of Premier Fitness. I'm a yoga instructor, personal trainer, certified nutritional specialist. And I just help people live their ultimate life through not only fitness, but, mental focus and spirituality as well. So.
That's very nice. All right, well, we're gonna move on around here over to Lady D.
Hey y'all, good evening. I'm Lady Emerald. I am a native Memphian, live in LA right now, but I'm also a medium, a voodoo devotee, a baby astrologer, a candle maker, and just an overall like spiritualist. So yeah.
Very, very spiritual. I love it. And rounding us out tonight is Cameron.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Cameron here. I'm an astrologer, herbalist. Practice a lot of different modalities right now. I'm really into Ayurveda, a holistic health practitioner. So yeah, I do all that.
All of the things. And like I said, I'm Heather, y'all. I am not an avatar, but today I am just for a couple of seconds. Once we get started, I'll jump in. Let me go ahead and add in the slides actually, and because tonight we talked about this, and this is just with the four of us just kind of having a conversation about what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go with with the information. um and we thought that this would be a good opportunity. We're kind of giving you guys a step by step about sex magic, and of course last week we delved into actually what it was and what it does, but also today we wanted to kind of talk about engaging the senses. So these are some of the things that we decided to talk about. This is visualization and everything, so you guys are going to get a good overall view of what that means. Anybody want to start?
Hey, just lay it on the table. You know how we do it.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go since you said something first.
Lord. All right, well, since we're going with first, then I'm game for it. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna put you up here at the top because we're gonna get you going on it. We're talking about smell first.
Ah, all right. So one now, do we want to discuss? All right, so
It's your world. We
all
just the
right,
world.
trying to get that. All right, so as it pertains to sex magic, you definitely want to create an environment where all of your senses are engaged. Smell is a very important one because it takes you to a certain level of consciousness, takes you to a certain level of vibration. One of my favorite things to do personally, I love the smell of certain incense, sandalwood, dragon's blood, things, along that nature, because I do know that this is a magical practice. And when you're doing things like that, you want to be very specific about the smells that you create. And that's for the outside environment. Particularly, I love the smell of, since we're being honest, if it's with a partner.
We're being honest.
We're being honest? How honest we being?
We ain't being Gene honest, but we being honest.
Damn it. Okay. I'll find a middle ground. uh, So the smell of flowers is great. Like I said, incense. Um, I don't know. For some reason, I have a weird thing about smelling like sage and Palo Santo, knowing that I've cleaned the energy of the space first. You know, that does that I guess that allows me to just open up more.
Yeah.
Uh, Definitely a suggestion that I would choose. Diffusers are great. You know, again, same thing: sandalwood, dragon's blood. Um, what can I think? Frankincense and myrrh. You know, other things that you use during rituals and ceremonies would be something that I would use. Um, Smell of food. I like fruit. Fruit is something special. I don't know what that is. I don't know. You have to talk. We don't have to talk about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
food
gonna
is
talk about it.
yeah, food is definitely something that I could imagine, like strawberries, all types of berries. You know, is something special, something sexual. And you know they have in Greek mythology and all of that stuff where fruit is a big thing. So it's a reason why. You know, a lot of the fruits that we consume, especially when we're taking ourselves to a place of taking ourselves to our sacred space that we're going to create. We need those aphrodisiacs, those things that engage um, our senses in the highest level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's just do a little bit of a roundtable discussion about this. And I guess I'll turn my camera on now.
Mhm. I can jump in then because like as a candle maker
Mhm.
and I also make body oils. I do nothing without intention. So like I don't if I'm tired, I won't make a candle. Like but if a candle is meant for relaxation, I need to feel relaxed. And so like you need to make sure if you're in the aromatherapy space, what you pick is intentional.
Right.
So like if you are trying to do sex match and trying to reproduce, you need to have a smell of like jasmine or I would do rose or damiana as an herb. It doesn't really have a smell, but like passion fruit has a nice sweet smell to it.
Mhm.
Honeysuckle. Those are like the candles or the incense you need to have, especially if you are wanting like I always tell people like if you want to bang, you have a certain scent, right? Like you just, or it may be no scent, because you're just trying to get to it.
Just having at
But
it. Yeah,
I,
totally.
I want to smell something first, though. I want to smell
if
something
you try
first, right?
like, right, try to like, right. Like I agree that like it's something about a clean house and that smell relaxes me and really want to like especially I don't know if like other women can attest to this like after you took a shower you may actually like a lot of times a lot of women like will shave our legs not to shave our legs but because we had a clean house we can clean the sheets and we want to feel that feeling and so
Mhm.
we also wanted to smell good. Something about lemon,
Yeah.
and like florals. And yeah, dragon's blood is it. Dragon blood really like ignites and relaxes and amplifies whatever you're doing. And
Right.
so like body oils, I don't do a lot of I make body oils, but I don't use body oils. I just like make my own body oil for myself because I customize it for people. And I was like, oh, I get the hype about my own product because I made for like the astrology sense thing. And so like when people put it on, then not only their partner feel like amplified, it like I guess it amplifies the pheromone smells does like because our
Right.
like brains like connected. And
Mhm.
so if you really want, like, I honestly, like, when I really want to look cute and feel cute that day, like, I could just be going to Target and Barnes and Noble. But if I feel like I'm being cute that day, I'm gonna put on a certain body oil that smell a certain type of way, so I would exude that confidence. And so that's why certain smells exudes like sex or whatever. And so like aromatherapy, people are like, oh, essential oils. I'd be like, honestly, a regular fragrance can do it, y'all. Like and walk past a person and be like, dang, they smell good. Let me talk to them. And they don't have to be the opposite sex. I be like, oh, you smell good. What is that? Like, it's even as simple as like, Yeah, you know, somebody grandmama or a mama that cook if like you go past them and they smell like chicken. Like they ain't got no that smell good. I know they food here. Like, you know, it's just like it's so funny how like smells really puts us in these certain places. And like I always like people have walked into my house and be like, why does your house smell like a crystal shop or a candle shop? And that was like, why does your like house smell homey? I was like, because smells like invite things. So that's I don't know if I purposely do that or say like it has to be clean, but I don't know if I purposely put on certain smell like certain candles to feel like in the mood. Like I don't know. But I think clean smells, I don't know, it do something to like most of us. Like, ooh, you gotta be clean first.
but not too
You
clean.
can't your house can't be must right. Like you can't we don't want to smell like bleach and then you pass out in the middle of sex. Like no, like but we don't want to also pass out from mustiness. So there's that. There's that.
Not too much, but not too little.
Right. Let
Add
me
Mhm.
just
some
jump
mustard in
in.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in and talk a little bit about smell as well because when you're talking about like everybody's bringing up all these different scents, right? And we know that when it comes to smell, it's very much linked to memory as well because you know smells always they you always go that reminds me of
Yep,
something. So
yep.
that those things with
Mhm.
smells are also connected to memory. That's why, you know, if you smell a particular candle, you go, oh, I remember when I was 7 and did this and da. And so smell is very important because it's linking you to the moment. It's linking you to the experience. And then when you talk about pheromones are our natural sex attractants. So you need to be able to identify that smell. That's why I always tell people who always talking about they don't know how to attract people. I'm like, you wearing too many things, you know, like let your body do what it does because your pheromones are there for you
Mhm.
to
Or
do.
crack,
They
yeah.
do exactly what you need them to do when they're supposed to do it. So if you sweating too much, like we talk about that clean scent and everything, but at the same time, you ever notice when you go to a gym, you see a guy working out and you see him grunting and everything, and you get that little whiff of just musk, and you go, that's the
That's
thing,
So
because now your
funny.
body's like, "Wait,
Yeah, some
Yeah.
pheromones.
yeah.
Yeah, the primal urge.
and let
Yeah,
those
Yeah.
pheromones
Yeah.
it's all of
talking
that
for
shit.
you." So,
hmm
Yeah,
definitely, yeah,
yeah, because
and
I
like
was
with
about to say,
women,
I think about them tweets. I'm my
yeah,
bad, Heather. It's a delay on my end. Like people are like, men would like tweet like, yeah, you gotta have a little twang to it first, like to really hit. I was like, yo, we're disgusting as people, as animals. We're disgusting. Like, not that you had a little twang to it, like. Like I was like, add a little twang to it. I mean, things, but that's true. Like I don't like it goes back to like your vagina is not supposed to smell like flowers.
right.
It's supposed to smell like
Right.
vagina.
It's supposed to be slightly sour, not sour, but acidic, slightly acidic,
Wang.
and a little bit musty. And that lets you know that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Again, it's supposed to be between like 4.5 and like right at
4.8.
5. No,
So
not
it's
8.
4.8.
Yeah, 4.5 at the lowest, but then you can go
Right.
up to it like maybe 5.2, something like that. But it within that
Mhm.
range is where you're supposed to be. So
Right.
it's supposed to be slightly acidic with that little bit of twang to it. And you
Right.
know, if you're doing too much washing and showering, sit down and let marinate for a minute. Everybody like a little marinade on their meat.
Yes, Lord.
Weak as fuck. Oh my god. Yeah.
Let it soak in there. Let it soak in there.
So get up in there. Have you ever noticed also though, like they Febreze has this new, and I don't know why I said Febreze like they paying me. Febreze has this new scent and it's called wood. And you know, a lot of women's like, okay, wait a minute, because I just got pregnant smelling this. It's the smell because it smells
Oh,
like a
yeah.
man. It has that sandalwood, that
Yeah.
patchouli smell, you know, all those
Mhm.
musky
Lemon, yeah, lemon
smells that
balm.
make you feel like it's a man.
Some
So
earthy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
which
earthy,
is
very
which is like hilarious. Well, Cameron, you probably know this. Like, but those smells, like talking about smells in astrology, those are actually listed under the feminine side signs, because like Earth is a feminine sign,
Right,
and so
right.
it
right.
always trips people out, especially when I make candles for like men. They like,
Mhm.
I want mine to smell manly. Baby, I'm gonna put whatever your chart saying, that's what you want to get. Like, and then they'll be surprised that it come out like, oh, they smell good. Well, it's you. So if you don't like it, you don't like yourself. And like I explained to them, they was like, but isn't it like a feminine side because cancers cry a lot? I was like, yeah, but that's strength and like that. But like they're
Mhm.
the more like the permanent sign that will use count like sandalwood. And like it's really wild because I think it goes back to kind of patriarchy, how we have had society this way, but like science says no, baby, like this because this isn't this, and astrology Ben said so too. So it's really interesting to see how even smell, because like people go up for mahogany teak wood and Bath and Body Works. I think that's the reason why they still in business, because of black women and getting their mahogany teak wood candle. It's my friend was like, it smelled like a nice like black man who got a job and rub your feet and sex you good. I was like, girl,
Not
come
from a
on, you gotta
401k.
manifest it.
What?
Yes, come on. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god, it's so
come
funny.
on. I was like, but it do smell like that. It do smell like a good black man.
With a good
Amen. And so
portfolio
like,
out here with a
come
business.
on. Like
It's so
rub your
funny.
booty at night. I love it. But that's what it
Nice.
That's
Open
exudes.
your
hilarious.
business. Maybe walk in and slap your ass on the way out. All
Indeed.
Listen, stop
Facts.
playing. Hey, anyway, never mind. Never mind. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah,
look.
something
Random.
else too with aromatherapy too is like I like making sure that there is like like subtle sense with like earthy sense, like having the both and for me and her,
Mhm.
like I really like the combination of like blue lotus, patchouli,
Mhm.
rose, and then like really like
Ooh,
underneath it just like
yes.
a little bit of cinnamon,
Yes.
like a little bit of
Ooh,
cinnamon.
that
Like,
Yes.
spice.
that blend is just like
Yes.
that is like really nice for the like the yin yang synthesis. Like I,
Yeah.
I I really like that blend. It's worked for me a lot. And also
Because like
I
cinnamon's
like to
a
know the smell
spice
of the
for
person.
sweet.
Yeah.
1,000
Yeah.
percent. Yeah.
It's also a cleanser. It cleanses energy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
that's my
We
favorite
over
blend.
here making doing some things over here. Look, let's take
Yo,
that
I love that blend. But I like knowing the smell of somebody first before I like make blends too, like
Yeah.
something that will synthesize well with
Hmm.
them.
Mhm.
And like you were saying with the memory thing, it's like if I use this one scent the last time I gave her a massage, then maybe I'll like do it again, like do that scent again.
and
Right.
So
that
just like our
Give
bodies will be
her
like
a
instant.
massage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What
Yeah.
Give her a massage. We
Yeah.
know how.
what? Not
Yeah.
always though.
Yeah, not always. Sometimes I just need to do energy work and shit too.
Sir,
Like
I don't know
Oh yeah.
who you talking to right now, but that don't sound like a standard run of the mill massage envy massage. But I mean, you know, I'm minding my own business
Hey,
over
we
here.
doing some deeper shit here. We're magicians, goddamn
hey, it is what it is.
Listen, okay. Anything
Sorry,
else
Cam. I did
on
No, no, it's good.
that.
No, 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 it's good.
we got through the
Hey,
rest of
no, everything depends.
right.
So the
Exactly.
answer is always pretty much gonna be yes and no.
Right.
So,
No in
yeah,
between. There's no
yeah.
maybe, I guess.
y'all are funny. Okay, so let's add in sound with this.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna ask that Cameron starts on sound.
Okay, cool. Well, first off, I got a Gemini moon. Like sometimes I really like to talk before I do anything, just to
Yeah.
like know where I'm at. So that's the sound I want to hear. I want to hear communication, but not even just like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I want to hear breath, I want to hear words, but I also want to hear like moans, or like just like low tones that are like more primal. That's the type of sound I really like. I mean, music's cool, chanting's cool, but like in the beginning, like I want to talk a little bit, and I want to hear like sound that's like primal. Like that's the shit that I like for real.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Y'all done got quiet. Wait a minute.
Oh, we
I
let them,
know, like
we let
Y'all
them
over
I'm
talk.
here
like,
like getting
well,
real pensive. Everybody's like, yep.
We're
yes,
reminiscing. We're reminiscing.
I don't like music either. Like in the background, it may start off like yeah, the music may start at the vibe, but I too like it's something I automatically think about like in the morning, like when men like wake up and they like the voice being like you does something to me, right? It just because it's that
Yeah.
lower tone, right? And so like I agree. And sometimes is the lower tone that like you know what might as well I need to pick up you know but I like most
But
people a lot of people like music during sex and I think it's just it's like it's distracting to me but to get in the mood yes like you got to have a good like sometimes, you know, like my YouTube would be going like, oh my mix, and then you to the R&B sounds. I'd be like, it is 1:13 p.m. I'm supposed to be at the meeting at 1:30, and my playlist is putting me in the mood. Like we gotta do this, let's change it. Like I don't think I can get anything in at that time not the way what I need to do. So it's just sound is important, especially during. Like I was saying last week that I think sound is important to people who have a love language and words of affirmation. Kind of need to be like helped through that. Like we want to hear that. Like we want to hear the moans. Like what like help me through the orgasm or help me through it. Like tell me what you like. Well, some people don't know how to date talk, so I don't know about that. But still, like that's a thing. So sound
Depends.
is important. Depends. Go back to that
Oh,
depends
oh, it
thing, and
depends.
then
Yeah, somebody said something. It depends though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
I
the
don't
music
want
on and we
you
just
was
had at
like
it? Because the music ended up being good. I didn't even know it. I didn't hear it till that 1 second. Like
right. Right. You got that video.
right.
I didn't make the choice, but it's happening. So like it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Ended
like
up being my favorite
I'm
song. We talking about memory. Like it's in my memory now.
yeah. Yeah, like literally. But I don't know about the tribal sound because I don't want a man sound like Tarzan in my ear. So,
So oh
you
yeah.
know, it depends. You know, I spoke about that last
So you
time. Like,
said
Mm.
I don't got time
what
for that.
tribe they in?
Yeah, depending on what tribe. If he is of the Euro Caucasus Mountains Tarzan lineage, I want no smoke. I'm good. And so, but you know, if the mode is sexy, like, yeah, come on.
Sometimes it is what it is. That, and I think a lot of times what people need to understand is just like when again, just taking it back over on my end. Sounds also indicate when things are going right, but when they're going wrong. So if
Mhm.
I'm hearing the audible sound of you moaning while I'm, maybe performing some whatever sexual act, and I know that the moans tell me that okay, we're going in the right direction, or
Right.
that you are actually approving and enjoying what's going on. The But if the moan sounds strained, then maybe it's time to step back and be like, babe, we put you. You ain't gotta do
What we
this for my
doing?
ego. You ain't gotta do
Yeah.
that for my ego. Like what you could do is tell me what to do. So that this could
Right.
be the right thing to do.
Okay.
So, you're very, accurate as far as it being affirming. Sounds are being are, affirmational, but they're also indicators on what to do, when to ramp it up, when to slow it down. You can pick all that up through sound, just, listening to the breathing. When you hear that the breathing is picking up, you're getting close to a climax. You know that
Mhm.
maybe you should speed it up as well, or even just keep the same tempo. So a lot of those things point toward what you need to do in those moments. And it's very much, most of the time it should be innate, but we know people, some people need guidance.
1,000%. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
people too as well. They increase their capacity for pleasure by just
Mhm.
like letting them moan out even more dramatically.
Right.
So if you can let that out more dramatically, it's like you can actually hit like further ceilings of like
Mhm.
climax and
Yes.
orgasm. It's just,
Yes.
you feel like, because it keeps going. And if you
Right.
just
Right.
let yourself be louder, sometimes it's just
Normalize.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's like when,
it's like,
because all that, and what it's doing though, the more that you're using that voice, the more that you're using that sound, especially we're talking about penetrative hetero sex. when you're talking about using those voices and making those things happen, that arousal is helping that cervix to push back a little bit. It also accommodates more penis so that you can get that go to pound town because you now have the
Right.
room for it. It's moving everything up so
Right in
that
the
you
room.
make the room for it. So yeah, I'm
No,
that.
because sometimes
Yeah.
y'all don't be knowing what y'all doing, hitting the cervix the wrong way. So I don't know about but that
Put my
makes
cervix
sense.
back where you
Circular
got it
motion.
from.
Circular motion.
Like,
Sir,
but
could
that
you
makes
give me
sense,
my
Heather. That
cervix back,
does.
please? I need that. Thank
You
you.
know what?
Don't move out.
Like, dang, now my cervix in my lower left quadrant. Please put that back.
Sir, my cervix is not supposed to be behind my ear. Please put it back. Okay.
Do any of y'all listen to like tones or like like this frequency tones during, before, after?
So I'm gonna say, so what I do is I have two phones. I have one displaying meditation tones, high frequency shit, and I also have the love music over top of that. So what it does is it takes you to a whole nother level, especially with the smells and taste and all that shit.
Oh, it sounds like you're just trying to get somebody pregnant with that. But go continue.
Right there. Right there.
Like,
I don't carry bail money. I do not carry bail money.
No physical babies.
I don't do that. I ain't got no American Express.
I'm talking about manifesting some wild shit.
Manifest yourself right in 201. You're not finna
I was like, nah, that sounds like some shit that would like really mess a girl up if she does a woman up if she doesn't know what she's getting. I was like, no, you can't mess
like
with
a
a regular
deer in
woman
like,
with it.
Hey, you know,
I feel so sorry for the women. I'm so sorry to those women out there. I'm so
we
sorry,
should have put a
y'all.
disclaimer on it. Where's my disclaimer banner?
You've been talking my ass for like over a year, so you know what it is. Like, you already know what it is.
I don't know what to do here. Let's see. Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna work on this disclaimer.
Y'all cutting up tonight. Oh wow.
Hey, listen, the real shit. I mean, we talking about sex magic, so
yeah,
gotta go all the way there.
Yeah,
gotta go all the way there. Ain't no in between. You can't half-ass some sex magic. You got to be all in, give everything you got, and then step back from the magic. Like, yo, I did that. Real shit.
I did that. I mean, but there's not a lot that was sold. So it said it's not us, man. He did this on his own.
Who said that shit?
That disclaimer out here.
All right.
There's a disclaimer.
Okay.
He out here, snatching souls and whatnot. But anywho.
I thought we was integrating them.
So we got the sound.
So I thought we was integrating the soul.
He's what?
Not snatching it, integrating it.
Is he though? Okay, y'all. Let's go on to sight. Yeah, there we go. Here we are. Anyone want to take sight?
Yeah, I'm down for sight. Yeah, I mean, it's a big depend. This is one of the biggest depends here because sight, like, depending on if it's like really, really like close and intimate, then I want to like. Sometimes I like just do eye gazing to begin with.
Yeah,
that's really, really that can be really, really nice. And then other times I just want like low lighting or like I like my red lights. I like that, and then like I like candles, specific colors depending on like what type of magic we're trying to perform.
Right.
and oftentimes too in the beginning you can always do like a small, like start with a small black candle and then just like burn that, and then even like have the flame like up when like having like a room like kind of dark, and then having that flame up so there's like purification of the two people like eye to eye, stuff like that. I really like doing that. That one is like really, it's intense, and it's also like sometimes I feel like when people are engaging, they're like too much in their thoughts. But if you have a candle in front of you and another person in a dark room, it's just like the ability to be able to be seen and see the other is just like it amplifies that. And when two people are doing that, like it synthesizes the energy in the room really, really well before the act. So that's a little bit I would say.
I agree with it because candles set off everything. Because I love when I can like, no, I don't like using lights anyways because hello, who wants a high utility bill? But like literally, if it's at like at night, especially if I have my working altar, I have multiple altars throughout my house. And so in my working altar, I would have, certain candles to even start the energy there, and then have like whatever work I have on, and like just having the lights off, it just kind of amplifies that feel of whatever work I'm doing, or even just going to sleep. Sometimes like candles really set it off. Like just I feel comfortable, and so lighting is important. And it goes back to what Cam was saying, like it just depends. It just depends with the lighting. Like, so I want the lights off, do I want the lights on? Do I want to see your body? Do I don't want to see your body? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we about to do? Like for me, I like daytime or lights on if we about to like experiment and do some extra things. Now, if we just doing a regular degular, sure, the lights can be off, but like lighting kind of amplifies that like sense or like that heightened emotion, which is funny because like you take my glasses off, baby, I can't see. But like when I can, before I take them off, it's lit. So I'm just being honest, y'all. Those of us who are four eyes, we can't see for real. Once you take them glasses off,
it's a wrap.
All I get is touch. After that, all I get is smell. So, but when I do have my glasses on, it right. That's
totally
a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, I like seeing plants sometimes too. Yeah, that's why I want to see some plants because that means I'm outside.
Right,
yeah, that's what I want to see. And then everything else from there is just gonna be primal. I'm just saying, like,
you out at night.
Okay, okay. I was trying to figure out like why would you want to see plants?
Yeah,
hey, that means there's some vegetation in life there. Goddamn
it. Putting light back on.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, first off, it's just seeing. I love the eye-to-eye contact. It's a huge thing. Conversations are a huge thing. I know that's another sense. I'm sorry. But red or purple, especially depending upon the magic that you're doing. If you're doing something that you're creating a higher level of shit, or trying to create a mind state, with the magic that you're doing, purple may sometimes be, or mixture. I love mixtures. I love combinations and shit. But like I said before, the eye contact is a huge thing. Because eye contact kind of creates the mental and spiritual connection without physical, without verbalization of desires. It's a huge thing. The subconscious shit is what really like takes the act of sex magic to another level. You can talk all day about what you want to do, but if you don't have that connection between your partner or the person who you're doing it with, or even with yourself, I think that like as it pertains to sex magic, even if you're doing it by yourself, mirror magic is a big thing.
I was about to say, yes. Please cleanse your mirrors with Florida water I will have a recipe for a homemade Florida water if you cannot afford Florida water because Florida water going up. I was like $4.99. My ancestors said, "Listen, we got a recipe. Please cleanse your mirrors. They are portals as well. Please cleanse your mirrors. You do not want to be looking at your genitals with a foggy mirror, anyways. Like you can't see, especially if you four-eyed. Baby, once you take the glasses off, you can't see yourself anyways. So
Right.
please cleanse your mirrors. I think that I tell people all the time, like new clients and everything. I was like, so when you cleanse your house, do you wipe down your mirrors with Florida water?
You have to.
No, those are portals. Like clean your phone, clean your laptop. Like yes, like when we talk about, I think we haven't even touched on like pornography. I don't know if we can say that on here. I'm sorry if you can't. But
It's annoying.
adult
I I
entertainment.
don't know why you can't because I prescribed it to clients, but okay.
Okay, okay. But like sometimes, that's good as well to ignite people. Some people get more in tune with each other if they find out they like the same type of porn and they sit there and watch the same type of porn together.
Good
And
point.
so that's another thing which would because you also get to kind of know what the person because sometimes people are hesitant about what they like in their kinks, but they'll like send you a video on the slide about what they
Right.
Yeah.
like.
Right. There
Yeah.
you
And
go.
so, and then like, sometimes you can live your wildest fantasies if you haven't came across that person who would do these things with you through porn. So I think that's really important, especially if you're going to try to do sex match by yourself. If you're not comfortable with the mirror, which you should be comfortable with the mirror and how you look naked. Like women, please make sure, men, please make sure you know how like your genitals look. Okay, thanks. And clean your mirrors. Thank you. I really feel like I have to emphasize that because I don't
Right.
know. It's probably the
There's
hoodoo in me. Like, please cleanse your mirrors.
clear
Because
pathways.
they are portals.
Yes.
Yes. And so I don't even have mirrors near my bed or anything. I can't do it. Probably because I'm a medium. I don't have time to wake up and see a spirit in the mirror. I don't have time. But yeah, I think that's like really important. Like, I think porn can be really bad, but it can also be really good if you know what you like, how you like. Sometimes, like, you're trying to get a good, no, even if it's not sex magic, even just trying to get a good, like, okay, I know what video I specifically like. That's my video, so I can go and get something out, and then I can go and do the other ritual. Like, sight
Yeah.
is really important for a lot of people. And I think some people, going back to sound, some people don't even watch porn. They'll like listen to it. They want to watch it. They want to listen to the moans, slapping of skin, and that
Mhm.
right there is very
Yeah.
important. I think that's something that we didn't like talk about with sound. That
Real
sometimes
quick.
just the sound of the act of sex, like certain, like a lot of men, those who have penises, they tend to like the sound of slurping. Cool.
Right.
Like, do you? Like, do
Yeah.
you like that? Like, that's part of the thing. But I can't say that like people with vaginas don't like the same thing because
Yeah.
that's part of it as well.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
There we go.
sometimes
I
just
don't
looking
I
at a
don't think
body, be
you gotta
like,
get super aggressive. Like
Yeah. Real shit. Real shit.
super aggressive.
Real hot girl shit.
hot girl summer. Hey, it's more like
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be fall girl summer because it's already too hot across the
It's
US.
it's way too hot.
It's
We
hot.
over it. We didn't know what we were talking about. We want cool air back. Also let me just add to the site that especially when you doing like when you're gazing, and I just wanted to go back to that because anytime you're connecting with someone eye to eye, like that, you're also helping to increase and promote the production of oxytocin. And what that does, that's a bonding hormone and neuroreceptor that is in the brain. So those things are found within the body. Did I say neuroreceptor? I might
Yep,
have been
you
wrong
sure
about
did.
that. But anyway, it does stimulate the bonding process. So that's why, people tell you all the time, if you out here just with a jump off, and this is a one night deal, do not make eye contact when you climax. Please and thank
Oh,
you. Okay.
yeah.
That's a beautiful
Wow.
suggestion.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah, that's a
That's
great
why people be
suggestion.
like, oh, these like people be on demon time when they're demons. If they like make eye contact with you,
Yeah.
they be trying to snatch your soul because they be wow. Well, that's probably what people be talking about. Like, oh, you can
We're soul tied.
sexual bond. We're so.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you don't go and cleanse, go take a spiritual bath. You okay?
You
Like,
don't put a
it's.
paper bag over that man's face.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Look over there. Look over here. Close your eyes. Don't be staring at each other lovingly when you know you're gonna lose their number in the morning.
I told you that,
Mm.
that eye contact, goddamn, there's
That's
some
a
motherfucker. The motherfucker on your
that's a nah, that's a joke because I probably already have lost your number if it's a one off. Like, once I enter the door, okay, I probably
Yeah.
didn't save it.
What up, Jonathan Logan? What it do? What it
Lady
do?
D says she don't even know you like that.
My friends
Yeah.
be saying, "Oh, you a little savage." I'm like, no, I just don't have time for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Real
That's
shit.
Yeah.
and that's the
That's good.
problem there. Is that a lot of people will make all the eye contact. They be looking all in each other's eyes and saying all the happy stuff. And you getting all the little fingers intertwined and everything. And then you wonder why your phone being blown up the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, so so all right, we talking about sex magic.
We are. We
We
are.
talking about sex magic. So again, so that's an easy one. We just said it all. If you're not intentional, if you're doing it with a partner that you're not like deeply connected to, do not do the eye gazing
Do
and
that.
things like that. That's way too intimate. You know,
Yeah.
kissing. I mean, it all depends on what are your turn ons. But everything like Lady D said, you have to be intentional about every action that you do when you're creating something. We don't have time to
That's
bullshit.
that $40 to 60. Sis, why not triple that? Why not 400?
You
Sis,
over here upping
talk
your
to me after
game.
this. I'm gonna have to slide you some prosperity oil. You gotta turn that 40 to 400,
We're gonna
sis.
turn that
Because
40
Hey,
40
to
listen, hey,
60,
listen,
1,000
that's
to
my counselor right
that's
there.
a
That's my
that
therapist, nigga.
10 piece. That's a 10 piece whole
You
difference.
savage on the head.
No, sis, we gotta up. Like, no, but I agree with you. But you can have like that sex magic with a partner. It goes back to intention. Like, if you know you and this person like romantically are not doing anything, but y'all have good sex together and y'all on the same wavelength, you can
Yeah.
have just like sex, like
Pretext.
friends with benefits, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
a pretext, and y'all like no, but
right.
don't do no eye gazing, like touching. Like, I know you
With the
remember when,
uninitiated. With the
right?
uninitiated. Yeah. With the
Yeah.
uninitiated. You can't go into that type of ceremony or that type of ritual
Right.
with the uninitiated. If they don't know what the fuck you're doing and you do that shit to them, you're gonna fuck their whole head up. Real shit. Real shit. You gotta be intentional about everything. Like you said, intentional with every action that you do, every thought.
I would
Don't be
say
coming
don't
to
even
me talking
and
about
don't even invite
uncrossing.
them into your personal spaces like that. If but we know that people do this. We know that
Yeah.
people will still rely on old faithful over here, and still try to do some things that they should only, reserve for certain other partners. And that's the problem. A lot of times we try to do regular shit with everyone or no,
Ain't
magical
ready.
shit with regular people. Let me take
Ain't
that.
ready.
Right. Yeah.
Ain't
Magical
ready.
shit with regular
That's
people.
always a clear indication that somebody doesn't know their magic too. That's something to
Yeah.
be mindful of, right? Like, know your own magic, because if you know your magic, you'll protect your magic,
Yes,
and then you'll be more likely to honor other people's magic too. And then shit could get real magical after that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, you just said a mouthful right there, bro. A mouthful.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to
What's
move
the
on?
next sentence? I was about to say, what's the next sentence?
All right, here we go.
We
Here
turn
we
it up now. We turn it up.
go. So we're talking about taste now. Who want to take it? Who want to take it?
I'm down.
Let me just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with taste real quick. I'm gonna just give you
Yeah.
the
There
sexuality
you go.
coach
There you
situation when it comes to taste. When we're talking of taste alone, again, this is another sense and everything. Now we talk about things in the way of, you guys are talking in the magical sense. I'm giving the other senses of things. When you're talking about taste, especially when you're talking about bodies and foods and things like that, a lot of times what you eat will
Yeah.
influence how you taste.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But then also taste also influences whether you want to taste again. When it comes to
Mhm.
performing an oral ceremony upon a person, what you want to make sure of is that you and said person are in a better in a good tasting realm of activity. Here's the other thing
Make
though.
sure your ass eating good food.
Look, yeah, y'all need to eat the rice. Y'all need to drink some water around here. But but the other thing is when you're talking about taste, especially you're talking about, oral and all that kind of stuff. And I'm particularly about oral because I'm thinking about foods and things that we involve in our sexual experiences and things. Anytime you put food near the mouth is going to do what? What is it going to do, people?
It's going to
It's going to produce more
salivate.
saliva. So if you're talking about getting a good slurping sound, making sure that you can get the moans to happen, making sure that you are touching right and doing all these other things, you want to make sure that you got a good juicy mouth as well. You want
Yeah.
to make sure that when you're tasting, as they're tasting you, you're tasting them, and it should be a good sloppy exchange.
Yes, Lord.
I'm done. Good night.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Church.
Good night, y'all. A good
Yeah.
sloppy exchange.
Sloppy exchange. Yeah.
I mean,
On a
beyond just
Monday.
like the.
I mean,
Ain't no adjustment. You just gotta go right into that shit. No, but like even with the fruits and shit, the like when a person is consume quite a bit of fruits and teas and things like that that are cleansing, like when you kiss them, especially if you do it like passionately, you taste everything that they taste. You tongue kiss, you taste everything that your partner has tasted. Correct?
Yep, have it.
mhm.
So yeah, so um, that's a huge turn on because if a person is eating some wrong shit, be like, go eat some fruit. But no,
Go drink some water.
thank you. Exactly. Asparagus is good for you.
That's go.
It's
Go
good for
whirlpool.
calcium. Goddamn it, Jonathan.
Asparagus not on sexy night.
No, especially
No.
because you need some legs to stand up on. What?
You know what?
Hold on.
I'm about to exit love real quick.
Never mind.
I don't know. I don't think I have too much about taste because I don't like food in those areas. Okay. Could be because I'm a foodie, so I only wanted like I don't know. But taste is important to me during the act. Like, like I would like to taste the exchange. And I think that is important because also good like meter on you as well. But like literally is I think that is important. I think it somehow amplifies or kicks things into overdrive. As Cameron says, like this like tribal primal thing happens. And which is like important that you need to kind of amplify, especially if you're doing something like intentional sex magic with it. It really does amplify it. So taste in that regard, but I don't want nothing near my cooch. So gotta keep that pH right. Okay. So
But you do know that when you consume certain things, that you taste like whatever you consume.
that's why I'm here, but I'm gonna plead the fifth here, say I'm a virgin and don't know. So
I'm about to take you out the stream right now.
Right now, get out.
how y'all know? I don't have no kids nor no videos. So I could be.
The fact that you just said that made you guilty.
You know, little suspect, little suspect. I'm just saying.
Henry's supposed to be on my side. He's supposed to
I
like
mean, I am, but I couldn't go all the way over
help in shenanigans. He's supposed to engage in my shenanigans.
there. Yeah. As far as taste goes for me, I love tea, yo. Like I love drinking tea.
Mhm.
You know,
Same.
way beforehand for me, and then depends on like the other person and what they want. But I like the sweet taste because, like you were saying, with like the mouth feel that it gives me, and like the amount of juices in my mouth when I like have like sweet stuff, like it's good. So like that's why I like tea and wine, and like kind of even if I put some herbs in wine and infuse that,
Mhm.
that yeah, that's real nice. That get real nice. Yeah, because that in and of itself is already the magic, setting the scene for the magic.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
I like doing that too as well. Yeah, mostly I'm about
Oh,
teas.
taste, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's my
Favorite.
thing. I mean, I guess sometimes I drink alcohol, like we were saying, it depends, you know.
Yeah.
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 And then I think, I don't know if we talked about this last week or did we talk about this offline, but we were talking about, people a lot of times use alcohol as kind of the jump starter for
Hmm.
anything, but you definitely got to steer clear of not necessarily steer clear, but just be mindful of the amount of consumption because you don't want to get back to, drying out those same parts
Things
that
that
you
you
want
need,
to
yeah.
find juicy. And I
Right,
think
Yeah.
that's
right.
the other things that you want to make sure that you have that it's all about that good gushy juiciness.
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Oh,
Yeah.
praise the
Yeah.
root.
And yeah, and I'll say too with alcohol, it's like being mindful of like how like if you're doing sex magic specifically, like
Mhm.
how it does make things more subtle, right? And you are actually more open, period, no matter if you're being conscious or not.
Right,
Mhm.
Right? It's like
right.
opening up to
Yeah, I was about to
it's
say they
literally that's why I
can.
call it wines and spirits.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's making
Yes.
the things more subtle. So just being mindful of that too is really, really important for everybody, especially if they're just starting out. It's super important. And if
Yeah,
you
that's
if you're
why
doing that and you know you're
I
gonna drink too much, you might want to bring some lube. You
Right.
know,
Lots
if
and
you're gonna
lots.
do something wrong, do it the
I
right way.
Right.
We about to talk about that too.
Right. Because that does
because
dehydration with the body. So,
Yeah.
hey.
yeah, I that's why I tell people it's like when people try to get into this type of practice, I say, do you know even how to protect yourself first? Because when you drink or when you use any type of depressant, any substance, can be a tea, it can be weed, it can be alcohol, like these things kind of people say lower your vibration a little bit because it kind of takes down those like how your body reacts physically
Mhm.
to spirits and everything, even spiritually. And so yes, you have to be a bit. And sex magic is so prominent right now. I was talking to a client earlier, and I was telling him how so many people do not know they have entities. Across, I don't know what to. I don't want to scare too many people, but like really, but you have to actually be like good. Like don't do it if you're feeling depressed. Don't do it if you're feeling like super anxious. Like do not do any type of intentional action because you can amplify the intention. You can mess things up. You can open up portals. You can have things trying to attach. Because if you already not cleansing your house, y'all ain't cleansed the mirrors. The mirrors. Y'all ain't cleansed the mirrors.
Back to the mirror.
What's the like back to protection and
On the
cleansing?
door,
Like
windows.
like I think like a lot of people just don't understand before you do any ritual, you need to cleanse. You need to wash your like y'all be spiritually funky trying to manifest, but you have blockages because you're spiritually funky. Like take a bath with two F's, not a TH, two F's. Take a shower, then wash the bathtub, wash that area, and then sit down with some Epsom salt, some rosemary, and maybe some rose petals. Because roses are not actually originally meant or love. They were actually first for protection because of their thorns. Let's go back into botany and stuff. And so, like, that's super important. Like, that's what I teach, like, my mentees and I don't say students, but whatever. Like, we work for protection first. Like, oh, how do this? You can't do prosperity work until you know, or safe matching until you know how to even protect that.
Mm-hmm.
Until you know how to unblock. So if you
Right.
can't do that, like it's not even gonna come into fruition like you need to.
Right.
I mean, even those baths, because of how the water touches sometimes, in a nice hot bath, like before this, with a little candle, really get you into the mood too. So look at that connection again. Boom. All right, you get it,
So
Heather.
I have to say, like, only the connection that you made with rituals and financial prosperity. Like, so if you know that you have prosperity mindset, you have to do rituals on a waning moon to do away with that.
It depends. I tell people it depends on who you are and how you're like, I'm more who do like ancestral, like how your ancestors move. So like it just depends. I tell most people you get into it, you want to do prosperity work or prosperity bath or try to manifest through like via match you do on Jupiter Day, Thursday. It's called Thursday because of Jupiter. Expansion.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can get really, really elaborate.
Right.
It
Exactly.
can real quick.
If you catch the moon with Venus and Jupiter and it only happens like once every year or something like that, sometimes you catch something and it's just like that gateway is open and it's just whether you have to do that by yourself or not, so being mindful too of like what you're doing and like the range that your partner has too. That's not about food, but it needs to be said.
I feel like, that's the good thing about these conversations. I think it just flows into what needs to be said and what needs to be shared. And
Right.
so,
yeah. But one thing with food too is like I not necessarily eating spicy food ahead of time, but like something that's like warming. Something that warms you up. It's
Like
really important.
Not hot Cheetos. Don't eat hot Cheetos.
Oh, not processed.
Not Takis.
Not Takis. I wouldn't even say don't eat hot wings either because y'all don't wash your hands and then to be trying to finger and then be messing up the pH. You can't be because your cooch is hot. We need spice food like noodles or something. Not the dollar noodles. We talking about like real food with some spice, y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for that.
Berries. Or even if it's just like light vegetables, but like has like really good spices on it, That's nice.
It's like a good red pepper.
Cayenne, get it moving.
Yeah.
Chilies and cayenne and or even if you just do like a little bit of cacao
they rev
with cayenne, that's nice.
Yeah.
They rev the metabolism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a natural process.
And push that libido up too.
So what?
What'd you say?
And you said revs the
metabolism.
Metabolism. I was saying, and it pushes the libido.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's because getting that blood flow.
Yeah, it's a natural combination and process with those two things. Like metabolism and sex drive, same thing. When your intestines are clear, then you have more capacity to allow your body to produce the chemicals and hormones that create sexual desire.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So you said when your intestines are clear. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that it's so funny because I was, we was talking about earlier. I was talking about like no one wants to have sex when you're constipated. Like energy don't flow right.
Yeah, that's some sex that's full of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and like I'm not a religious person at all, but I do believe wholeheartedly in the scripture that says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the body reacts to certain types of vibrations, certain type of energy. So when you are clear from all the food that you consume, your body is always able to create an environment where you are able to experience or access your highest levels of experience.
Yeah.
Period. Whether it be sexual, mental, emotional, all that shit.
Hmm. That's why when people do those intermittent fasts, a lot of times you'll see that a lot of I've seen where it can, you started cleansing that system out, and then you wonder why, hey, sex drive starting to change.
Typically,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
natural.
because you clearing
Yeah.
that clear system out. Boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop.
And about the the
Yeah.
metabolism in yoga, they call it Agni, right? Agni
Yeah.
is just the fire. And
Right.
when somebody has fire, that means they can if they have penis, they can be erect, and if they have vagina, then they can go there, right? You can climax. And
Generation.
also the fire
You get
element
erect
represents
with a
spirit.
vagina too.
So being able to tap into
Generation. Yeah,
spirit.
I'm
Heard.
sorry. No, go ahead.
Look at Heather. She at work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were speaking of Jules. Go ahead, do your shit. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Ooh, what me?
No, Cam, do your
No,
thing.
no, it's
Okay.
good. No, no, it's good. That's pretty much it. That's the gist of it.
Yeah, yeah. So when your metabolism is peaked, it creates the reality where your body is able to do everything that it's supposed to do at its highest levels. Fuck your age. You could be 80, you could be 8. You know what I mean? And your body produces the same amount of hormones and endorphins and whatnot to help you operate at your highest levels without assistance. It's all about your activity. I mean, Heather and I, we talk about this shit. Like, you exercise regularly, you drink your water, eat healthy foods that are lean and fat and all that bullshit. Then you're able to create an environment where your body operates at such high levels that, like, you could be 80 something and still be producing babies. Real
We're not
shit.
producing babies at
We
80.
don't want to do
I'm
that.
so sorry to tell
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want
Probably
to
not.
do that.
But I do think it's really I
Stop
do
when
think
you
it's really
say with
important to
that.
name stuff like that though, because sometimes people like have these limiting beliefs of like a certain
They
age,
do.
Right.
So yeah, it's super important
Can't
that
stand it.
yeah.
No.
Because I feel like a lot of people believe that women
Yeah.
don't, no, a lot of people still believe that like women do not have like high sexual libidos. I'd be like, no, you just don't turn her on. And like I always joke. I was like, I heard like after you cross 30, it gets real, real bad for women. Like we tend to like our sexual libido tends to go up. And I was like, well, I'm scared then because I like spicy food. Libido are listen, I'm so sorry for whatever man I end up with because he need to be eating spicy food and I eat spicy food and he needs to be gone vegan or something. To cleanse that out. And like when you were saying all that kind of reminds me of like why they say actually it's really good to like poop before sex, especially like before if you're trying to do anal, you really need to clear all that out to enhance the satisfaction, like animal yourself or something. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, that's like safe anal play anyways. Like, but that you said that it makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Just what you're saying that a lot of times, like, I just want to add this and then we go to the next thing because we're an hour and 8 in.
Let's
But the
go.
thing that I really wanted to talk about when you're talking about women and their peaking and libido and everything, a lot of times you will find that a woman's libido is very much linked to her level of satisfaction if she's in a relationship. So the libido is very reflective of the relationship itself. So if you find that the libido is low, then there's probably something else lacking within the relationship. So and I just reject the idea because a lot of folks, especially like folks that get married or whatever, and they're like, oh, you don't have sex with your partner no more once you get married.
What?
Really? Really? The sex just
Why?
goes away? I know a lot of folks that have a whole lot of sex when they with their
They
partner.
supposed
Uh,
to.
Cause they so yeah, cause they like
about?
each other. And if that be the case, then why the hell did you
Are
get
you
married?
married? I'm confused. Damn. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. Forgive me.
Y'all be wasting y'all time and money because weddings are expensive. I heard. I only heard. I don't know,
As that
but
coach.
No
I.
personal. No personal.
Listen. And so like that's something I just want people to understand that, again, that has to do with level of that has to do with desire, satisfaction, and then also the fact that maybe their partner not listening to them is which is why they not getting anything from their partner. So
Yeah.
one
That's
mouth and
that's
two
good.
ears.
That's good.
One mouth and two
Do
ears.
you find out do you find that people like women around the age like 42 ish? Do you think their libido does go up? Is that not true at
Absolutely.
all? Okay,
Absolutely.
okay, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, if you
it's like
think about
around like
this,
the
I ain't
midlife crisis thing that they say.
well, I don't necessarily think of it as a midlife crisis. I feel like what happens is the
Yeah, that's
closer
what I
you
put in
get.
quotations. Yeah,
Right. I feel like the
yeah.
closer you get to, that menopausal age, you get another surge of hormones. And what ends up happening is
Hmm.
it's starting to re-regulate. And so you'll see those peaks happen where, they in full cougar mode. They getting ready to pounce, baby. You better get ready. It's about to happen. Miss Gladys about to get you today.
I miss Gladys. Oh my
It's about to
god.
be on
I
and
love that.
popping.
That's so great. Yeah,
Yes, Miss
that's
Gladys
interesting
is
because
about to do some things to you, and on top of that, she gonna send you home or take home a sack plate, get you some greens, some macaroni and cheese, and a turkey leg. Thank you very much, sir. Get your dumb
Exactly.
ass out
With
the
the
house.
cornbread. With the cornbread and a pound cake. Come
And the pound cake,
on.
okay? And then the other thing is the closer you get to menopausal age, the less you worry about getting pregnant. So that also allows a little bit of liberation because now you're like, hey, well, shoot,
yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't got to worry
Hey, well,
about these
shoot.
things. Yeah. Like you let them young girls go out there and get their plan B. I ain't got to do it. So yeah, there are a lot of things that factor into those things as you
Hmm.
get older.
Yeah, it's interesting because it correlates directly with like a specific planetary transit. It's the Uranus transit,
Yeah.
the
I was about to
Uranus
say that.
opposition. Like people like they want to express their like creativity more and their like personal genius. So that's all. That's curious. Yeah,
There's some
appreciate that.
genius
Thanks for that
happening in
reflect.
the 40s, I tell you
I'm so
It's
here for the
also
whispers, yo.
interesting.
that.
I'm here for all the whispers.
One day we're gonna do a full ASMR entire
Don't have
show.
me on this because I won't be able to do it. I heard I'm too loud, so I can't whisper for
Just
real.
turn the mic down. That's all. You just turn it down.
Good call.
Okay, y'all. Let's get to the last one. Let's go ahead and talk about touch. Um, touch is all over the place. I'm gonna just be honest. So I'm gonna just let
Right.
we're gonna be all over the place too. Let's have a roundtable discussion about touch
Okay.
and go.
Start it out. Start it out.
I think touch is important, and of course, I'm letting y'all bring in the sex magic part. I'm bringing in uh the coaching part, the sexuality part, just uh regular old run of the mill sex. I mean, definitely touch is one of the things that get you started a lot of times. If you don't feel good inside and out, wherever you want to put that. If you don't feel good, you're not going to want to do some other things. If it doesn't feel good to you, it's not going to last long. I love the fact that we added lube as like, one of the first things that we want to talk about, oils and lube, because when I talk to customers and clients, the first thing we talk about is proper lubrication because most people don't think that they need those things in order to have a good, successful sexual session. And I'm just here to tell you you're wrong because one of the things that we talk about is the wetter the better, right?
Right.
That's always something we talk about. The wetter the better. It makes things just feel better. It just makes you happy. It makes things last long. You're not all toe up on the inside and walking all crazy the next day because you didn't get the proper amount of
Yes,
lubrication.
facts.
You ain't out here, hurting and tearing folks, whatever parts you want to hurt and tear. All of that is good, but at the same time, you got to make sure you're not setting up infections and whatnot while you out there trying to be
Mhm.
everybody everything. Okay, amen.
Bless up. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, I love that. That's true. Yeah.
So
So yeah,
Can we
I like
also say that you cannot use certain oils as lube?
As
Let's not
lubricant.
use coconut. Do not use coconut oil as a lube. Like I remember in undergrad, somebody tried to do that. I was like, no, let's just call it quits, sir. It's okay. So
why is that?
let me
Why
say
is that?
oil and lubes. It
what
doesn't
you say,
actually do
Gene?
anything. Coconut
So
oil as lube, it don't do anything. It's not.
coconut oil has to be, people use it everywhere. Let me say it like this. People will use coconut oil head to toe. It's not oily enough for it to work properly as a lube, but at the same time, when you use it with a condom, it helps the condom to break down
Mm-hmm.
because most oils will break condoms down. So now you are putting yourself in a different type of jeopardy. So
Mm-hmm.
like we tell people, coconut oil in a pinch. Just if you just didn't have nothing else, just slather a whole lot of. You're gonna keep reapply. You're gonna continue to
Yeah,
reapply
you got to read.
the
Yeah.
entire
It dries out
time.
the condom because it's
Yeah,
breaking it down. It dries it out actually
right.
more and it irritates the vagina more. And so, like, I was like, oh, okay. Don't do any, like, I tell people if you have like any unrefined oil, do not do that. Because also it can throw off the vagina's pH as well, because those are more like basic
Mhm.
type of ordeals, while your
Yeah.
vagina needs to be acidic. Like, I always say, like, the vagina needs to be a killer because
Mhm.
it's so acidic. So,
Yeah. So you
yeah.
want a water based lubricant at all times. Water based, unless you're doing anal, then silicone, please and thank you.
It's so funny. Yeah.
So yeah, use those oils like to massage. You know how y'all be like, oh no, men, especially heterosexuals, they heterosexual, bisexual. If you have heterosexual sex, they love to get you like, oh, let me rub your back, and then it turns to like sex or whatever. That's why I said, you know, I bust Cam out earlier, like, oh yeah, massage, yeah, that's how you
Mm-hmm.
get. That's how you get people. I think that's important. Like, but I think touch as in kissing is important. Like a lot of people put that's really important. Because touch is part of that basic intimacy. It goes back
Right.
to the love languages, right? If that person's physical touch is like a hug, that's the energy transference they need to feel even secure and comfortable with you enough to even engage in something like sex magic. They could be, no, could tie a person. Well, I don't say that, but like there's something as important and intentional as sex magic. Like we need like touch is important, even in during the process. Maybe no, even during the process, it goes back to sound as well. Like as you touch that person during that process, y'all can be
Mhm.
just saying affirmations or saying that intention as you like rub that person down their back or as they kiss that person. Like, you know, it's you can do a lot with touch and like sound with sex magic to really amplify it. And kind of I tell people it goes back to your chart. So if you have a lot of air sign, especially if that's like your Mercury or your sun, like speaking is important. But if you have a
Mhm.
lot of earth signs in your chart, touch is important. If you have a lot of fire sign, fire is important. The energy is important. And so like
Yeah.
sometimes people can also look at their birth chart to see what's prominent and everything to like amplify that. But touch is always going to be important because it starts off that intimacy.
Yeah.
That's my
I
spill.
agree with. And just
True.
to add on to that, again, like we on this list, it also talks about light touch, but any of that touch that helps to kind of heighten the moment. The more sexual you become, the more it's like your nerves are just right here, just on the edge of your skin, and the
Mm-hmm.
more you touch and engage that person, the more the experience is heightened in the way of it brings out it just seems to just bring out just all of it, all the things.
Yeah.
and it just helps to move things along, like you said, by being the some people's love language and everything. Some people just can't help but touch you anyway. But once you start, especially those erogenous zones, and you start to massage and clench and grab those areas again, you'll feel where it starts to pulsate in those places, because you are actually connecting with the body, the skin, and so it just makes the experience much better. I wanted to pull this back up here because we have all these other things here that what are y'all thoughts on these other things? Play, blankets, communications. What we got? Because touch is communicating.
Yeah, totally. I think touch is like,
Um,
it's really important with communication and touch. I also was gonna say something else about like light touch versus like firm touch.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a really important like contrast for people to have, because like most of the time people want both, right? Some people
Right.
like they try to act like, oh, I like it rough, or like, oh, I just like it gentle. It's like always a place. There's a time and place for both of them,
Right.
right? So being able to
mhm.
like be light and then be like really potent and grasping, that's
Mm-hmm.
really, really important when it comes to touch. And the oil, like oil helps with that so much, because you can
Yeah.
just graze over easy with the oil, but then also when you grip, it has like a little slip. So if you try to do it too hard, it might anyway,
Mm-hmm.
like, and also I just feel like also whatever you're trying to manifest when it comes to sex magic, it's like what part of the body does that correspond to as far as like a chakra, and like
Yes.
making sure like you massage that part of the body,
Yeah.
or like if you're trying to manifest prosperity, like and your partner's like shoulders are kind of hunched over, like you want to like open that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're literally like you literally want to create a physical container for what that's going to look like when it come through. So I'm trying to like look, proud of what I am and who I am, and like, so I just feel like touch can help us adjust the body and like put it in the right position to make everything come through. So I think that's really
Mm-hmm.
important too. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
love that, you know, saying that oil is really a good, conductor for you to be able to create the type of touch
Hmm.
that you want to, you know, convey to your partner. So
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. And then with blankets too, it's like what feels good to somebody. I think that's
yeah,
really important, because sometimes
yeah.
blankets actually like, why the fuck are you even over here? So it depends. Sometimes like they need to be I want to feel contained in the
Hmm.
blankets, and then sometimes you don't. And it's like, how does the blanket feel? I just feel like that's really important too as well.
Or you can use the blankets as restraints.
Yeah.
Or support for that back if you're trying to get a certain angle. But who am I?
Wrap it around a hip or a buttocks and pull the person closer to you.
Well, I hope somebody wrote that down for their in this act.
Just wrap it
Right.
around your hands like
Heather said bringing back memories because we were talking about memories earlier. So it's the touch
no,
bringing back
Right.
no, no,
memories.
no. These are all teaching techniques. I have no memories.
Now who lying?
Right.
Now who lying?
I merely instruct.
Bullshit.
Anyway, does anyone want to add anything else to touch?
No, we are.
Right.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, we have made it to the end of all those things. I think this was a good one. We're talking about visualizing the space and then also engaging all the senses and everything. Um, I just think that first of all, I hope everybody learns something out there in the world. But the other thing is just looking at all the things that we've talked about. These are things that people naturally do anyway, and I don't know that we are conscious enough to know that the things that we naturally do can be incorporated in the things that we're trying to learn. Like a lot of times we'll say that we don't know things, but it really is ingrained in us somewhere to do those things because it's just part of our nature. Don't y'all agree?
Agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I will say one thing: is like sometimes the biggest difference is like going from not knowing and doing and knowing what you're doing and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
that's
it's like I think
about
sometimes that's yeah, 1,000%. Sometimes that awareness is like the only thing that is needed or left out at times. So yeah, taking the simple to the sacred is yeah, sometimes just an awareness.
yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right. Any last thoughts, people, before we get to y'all info pages?
I'm good over here.
All right, everybody happy and good. Okay, so let me go ahead and do everybody's info page. Of course, we got Cameron coming up first. If y'all want to get in touch with him, Cameron.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, CA Dream 6. And then also, yeah, if you want to get something done, like a consultation, like a special consultation with me, just reach out to me via my Instagram instead of my website because I only have specific offerings on my website, but I do have like a much broader range, especially for people who are in Memphis. So just find me on Instagram, and maybe next time I'll put my email address too. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Lady D.
Yeah, my info is Lady D Emerald on all platforms. And yeah, that link tree link is how you can get in touch with me right now. I have readings open, I have videos and candles available. And yeah, that's how you can reach me. Crazy.
You're doing your ancestral readings right now too, right?
I am right before I jumped on. I got finished with the ancestral readings. This is June, so I tend to do ancestral readings in June. We get down to the nitty gritty of like paternal, maternal. Some people have ancestors from past lives that come through as their ancestral lineage. It's really a 2 hour, I call it an event because people find out so much about their ancestors and who's working with them. And so that's really my niche. Like I really help with ancestral lineages and everything as a medium and help people out with that. So yes, that is what people actually know me for, the ancestral lineage stuff. So if you're interested in getting everything, let me know. Send me a message on Facebook, Twitter, or on IG and tell if you tell me you came from this, from Moist Mondays, I would give you a discount off of your ancestral reading. So plug, plug, plug.
Mhm.
Yay! Thank you. All right, Jane.
Yeah. So I have a lot of classes coming up at a local um, black-owned fitness studio with fitness classes, yoga classes as well. I also do my nutritional counseling through the same page, especially the IG. Um, so ultimately, if you need some fitness work, if you want to lose some weight, if you want to find a diet plan that's going to help you achieve your ultimate goals, I'm the same dude. Um, and then, the spiritual goes in there as well. I do, tarot card readings and a few other things. But just uh, give me a contact and let me know what you need, and I'll hook you up with what you got.
All right. I guess it's my turn.
Oh yeah.
And I'm Heather of heatherspassionacademy.com. So if you're looking for me, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, playing haterade game still. But you can find
Oh
me on
no.
right. You can find me on all platforms, Heather's Passion Academy. Definitely if you're looking to enhance anything going on in your life with yourself or a partner, go to heatherspassionacademy.com and schedule your consultation with me. I do sexuality coaching, intimacy coaching, and life coaching for individuals. couples and people who don't know what they are in life. Um, yep. And yeah, just reach out to me. And definitely, I want to thank you guys again for joining us for Moist Mondays. Thank you guys on the panel for joining us. And again, we will be back next week to discuss the next part of it. I don't have it listed up here, but we will do something. We'll
Oh,
let y'all know, but we will be back next Monday to talk about even more. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the Sex Magic series. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying it. And if you missed it, go ahead and go back to the replay after the end of this broadcast. But also, if you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube and follow Heather's Passion Academy and Premier Fitness 0210 because we will eventually start moving Moist Mondays directly to YouTube only. We're trying to give y'all a chance to come on over there. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll let you know that we're going live there. We're going to stop doing Facebook after a while because Facebook ain't going to pay us. And that's all I got to say
hey,
about that. Anything else, people?
No. If anybody's in Memphis, feel free to reach out too if they have any, if they desire any like herbs for their sexuality and stuff like that too, to boost libido or to modulate it in any way they need. So yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you all, panel members, for taking the time out to play with us today.
Indeed.
And y'all
You're
have a
so
good rest of
welcome.
your.
Mhm.
A lot going on. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Okay.
hell yeah. You
All
too.
right.
All right.